Good afternoon, financial professionals. Abby Fletcher here of E4 Insurance Services, welcoming you to the BREW, Building Relationships Every Week. Thanks for tuning in today. For those of you joining the BREW for the first time, welcome and happy Life Insurance Awareness Month, or as the cool kids say, Liam. Today, September 1st, marks the start of an entire month dedicated to educating Americans on the importance of life insurance and its role in securing financial security. And today on the BREW, as part of our Liam series, we have a very special guest, Juli McNeely, who serves as owner of McNeely Financial Services. Juli is a dear friend of us here at E4 and also one of our esteemed advisors. She's a recognized author, and personally, she's a shero of mine, having served as the first female president of NAFA. Today, Juli will share how she leads with life to fulfill our role of protecting today and planning for tomorrow. Feel free to use the chat box down below while Juli is live. I'll be keeping a lookout for your questions. Also, all attendees are in a drawing for a prize, and we'll be announcing the winner shortly. Thank you for tuning in, and without further ado, Juli, welcome. The mic is yours.
Thank you so much, Abby. It is my pleasure to be here. You know, when Danielle called me to do this, I thought, well, what in the world am I going to share? It feels like some basic information, but you know what? I always think it's great to share ideas with other people. Even if you get one tiny little thing out of this session today, I hope that you take it and serve your clients well by the information. So let's get started. You know, I feel like you know, you don't necessarily need that reminder that September is Life Insurance Awareness Month, as Abby said. Liam, you know, we used to do a lot more here, direct marketing during that time of year. Every year we used to do some mailings and emails. We now do social media here in our office, but we have really tried to incorporate life insurance awareness in every single month because it is such a critical piece to the overall financial plan. So I'm not sure if you've ever had a chance to check out the lifehappens.org website, but it is full of great information. They have a full social media calendar. They've got tons and tons of print materials that you can share with your clients. If you really want to kick off Life Insurance Awareness Month, I would encourage you to look to that website and get that information. Again, as I said, you know, we tend to really look at life insurance every single month, not just in September. It has become very much part of our conversation. Here at McNeely Financial, we do full financial planning, and the protection piece is a huge part of what we talk about. And I'm going to hopefully give you just a few ideas today. I would love to see this be kind of interactive. So as Abby said, if you've got questions or comments as we're going through this, I'd love for you to put them in the chat, and let's all learn from each other. So to get going here, I thought it would be good to share one of the videos, and I hope it works. I suddenly got an error message. Well, let me do one thing here. If it doesn't work, we will get you the link. Yeah. Huh. Weird.
No luck?
No luck, but let me just check one other thing. And we tested this too, Danielle. Well, if for some reason it doesn't look like we're going to get that to work. So that being said, the link will go out. This is an incredibly powerful video that Life Happens put together. It brought a tear to my eye the first time I saw it. And every time I watch it, I'm like, that is powerful. It's all about a dad who has a life insurance policy. He ends up passing away, and his daughter gets to use the proceeds of that to help her further her education. And it is powerful. As I said,
Juli,
yes.
Do you want me to share it from my side?
Oh, that would be great.
Okay.
Keep teeing it up though, Juli. You're doing great.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
All right, let me just make sure the sound's on too.
I'm not sure why it didn't work, Danielle. We even tested it.
See.
Oh, I like this.
That's exactly what you wanted. 3, 2, 1. Whoa. Let's go to space. Woo. Let's go.
Well, if that doesn't get your heartstrings, I don't know what will. It's pretty incredible. When I remember, like I said, when I saw that the first time, I definitely got a little bit tearful. So, all right, give me 1 second here, folks. I'm going to go ahead and reshare my screen. Go back to presentation mode. Okay, hopefully that is coming through clear. You know, one of the things that we often do here is we talk about protection, but I think the sexier part of the conversation for a lot of us that are doing financial planning is the planning for the future, the retirement planning, the college funding, the investment side of the business. However, it is pretty critical that we also take some time to protect the day today. And that's the piece that life insurance really brings to the table. The last part of this is to tell your story. For those of you who have been doing this a while, you probably have your own story of how life insurance impacted one of your clients. If you don't have your own story, I would encourage you to get someone else's story, share a story. That's what I did when I first started. I didn't have a lot of stories to share. So I would use sites like Life Happens to really help me share that story. There's something about pulling on the heartstrings to really get people to pay attention and help them figure out how to protect their day to day. You know, I think especially with younger people, it becomes more and more critical to pull on their heartstrings a little bit before they're going to take action. So obviously I've been doing this now for 25 years. So I have lots of stories now. And I was actually honored to be selected as one of the Real Life Stories recipients. And so I'm going to go ahead and hopefully this will work on my side, Danielle, and share my story, and then we'll move into the rest of the presentation.
I first met Sam when he was in college. Sam was 6'8" and 320 to 360 pounds. He was a huge teddy bear.
Sam was hilarious. He was a big, bold personality. One of his dreams was to have kids and be a dad.
Sam had life insurance through his employer, but when I found out we were pregnant, we decided that wouldn't be enough.
We sat down and really did a full financial plan and discovered that they needed some additional coverage as their family began to grow.
When Charlie was born, Sam was ecstatic.
Charlie was definitely a joy for them, and in particular, she was a joy for Sam. They were inseparable. She was a daddy's little girl, and he did everything for her. Sam was at work and he started to not feel well. An ambulance was called and he was taken to the hospital.
We got to the hospital and They're already doing resuscitation. It was already gone.
Sam had passed away that morning from a dissected aorta. He was 38 years old.
Never really crossed my mind that we had life insurance. And Julie, of course, came to my rescue like always. I was grateful that we were going to have enough coverage to make Amy and Charlie comfortable financially. We certainly couldn't take away the emotional pain, but we could at least help financially. Life insurance policies have allowed us to just live without worry or struggle. I can't stress enough how important it is. He was a strong man, had a great job, a great family. No one would have ever guessed he would be gone. And he had the right amount of coverage, and that day came. Sam would be happy knowing that his life insurance policy has helped us get through this. Sam will always be taking care of us. Well, that is definitely the case for my family. That video still brings me a bit of emotion. We are coming up. I have a picture of Sam on my wall. September 5th, it'll be 7 years. So kind of hard to believe that at 38, he's gone way too soon. But the conversation I was able to have with Amy was very different had he not had that life insurance. And so I think that we have to remind ourselves that we are leading our clients every step of the way. And so this slide, the next slide, really talks about that. 81% of adults say they need life insurance, but only 43% have it. This is our job, folks. This is our job to go out and make sure we are talking to people about life insurance. It's sometimes, like I said, the more exciting part to talk about is the future and saving money and putting money in investment strategies. But in reality, we can't afford to really leave our clients bare if something happens to them unexpectedly. So we have to do our job. We have to make it part of our conversation. So I will, just encourage you to keep having those conversations. Here's the part where I want to maybe just do a little participation if you can. Feel free to type in the chat, but when I'm talking with clients, we end up talking in maybe a different language than really specifically about life insurance. We talk about pain points. Every client faces things in their life that causes them pain or anxiety or anxiousness. And we want to try to identify what those are. And in many cases, there are times where they're feeling vulnerable in a certain area. I have always said, as financial advisors, we're more counselor than we are salespeople. And we want to know what keeps them awake at night. So if you're asking your clients these kinds of questions, your answers are going to be very different than if you ask the question, how much life insurance do you have? We have the ability to help give them peace of mind, provided that we are willing to ask some of the not so comfortable questions. We have to anticipate what clients will need and what they might be facing. So I would love to hear what some of your objections are, that you are hearing from your clients. I often hear, I can't afford it. Well, that's crazy, because term insurance is not that expensive. I tell people all the time, let's at least get you enough coverage. We'll worry about conversion later, but we've got to get you the right amount of coverage, because if something happened, like something happened to Sam, we want to make sure that your family can maintain their standard of living. So that's one of the objections. I would love to hear if you've got any others. Sometimes the objections are more difficult. Sometimes it's because they can't get coverage. That's hard. That is really, really hard to get that kind of a response from a client. Like, I've tried to get life insurance and I can't get it because my health issues are too great. I can't be taken. Well, there are some high risk carriers
There are definitely some guaranteed issue carriers. And, E4 is an incredible partner to help us figure out exactly what company might take our clients if we start to get some information about their health situation. I have lots of younger clients who say to me, I don't think I'm ever going to use it. Well, we all know we're going to pass away. And that's where those stories come in. When they see someone as young as 38 years old passing away and leaving a family, it certainly will pull at their heartstrings, I would hope. I feel like the conversations in these questions that I have listed on this slide have really changed in the last 18 months because people, I do believe, are really looking at mortality right here, right now, because of COVID and all that we're facing as a world. And I feel like this is the time to have those conversations. COVID is affecting people of all ages. It is not just elderly. Everyone knows someone who passed away. And so this is the time to be having the deeper conversations, asking the bigger questions, and those questions that really will get them to think differently about the fact that they need more life insurance. Someone just listed a objection, looks like Josh. I'm trying to stop smoking first. I'm trying to lose weight. COVID, I'm too busy with work. Yeah, those are all objections I've heard as well. I think E4 makes it pretty simple to make busy people available to get a life insurance application going with the EAP process. The whole stop smoking or lose weight question, I try to stress urgency. And again, I feel like with COVID, the fact that people have more urgency is more at the forefront, more than I've ever experienced in my 25 years. So I always say, let's get the coverage now. We can always go back and get a new rating if for some reason you do lose weight or you do stop smoking and we've reached that 12-month period. But at this point, we need to make sure you have the coverage, because if you pass away, your family isn't going to want to hear that you said you wanted to wait till you lost those few extra pounds or stopped smoking. Here's another comment. John Hancock has a quit smoking incentive on their permanent policies. Gives them 3 years to quit. I did not know that. That's awesome. So again, seek out the help of your E4 team. They are very much here to help us make sure people get their coverage and make sure that they can sleep at night and have that peace of mind. Again, it is our job to lead people through this process. So let's look at then just a couple things. I wanted to share a few sales ideas, and I'm going to do this a little bit rapid fire. I know that we are sticking to the 30-minute mark here today, and I'm not going to spend too much time. And again, I feel like some of this is somewhat basic, but it probably bears repeating sometimes. So the first thing that we need to lead with life insurance is we need to help eliminate and reduce risk. If you are a financial planner, one of the biggest things on the table is the risk of dying too soon. And so we want to make sure that we cover that risk and help our clients understand why life insurance can fit that gap. With pennies on the dollar, we can fill the risk bucket and make sure that we've eliminated that. That is a big part of the conversation when you are doing a full financial plan. If we can't completely eliminate the risk, then we need to at least reduce the risk. We know as financial planners, we talk about risk all the time, but most of the time we're talking about market risk. I will tell you, market risk is a real risk and usually one that most people want to talk about. But I would say the risk of dying too soon is just as great. So you are making a mistake if you don't take that risk and put it on the table and have the conversation. One of the things I think that helps eliminate and reduce risk, and I've seen more business owners talking about this right now, is key person. We have such a tight employment market right now. And I will tell you that concerns me. And I think it concerns a lot of business owners. So key person policies should be part of your conversation with any business owner right now. We want to know that if someone passed away, that our business could survive and we could continue to operate and continue to pay the rest of the employees and serve our customers. So key person has become a big part of the conversation for the business owners I'm working with. I also want to look at the twofer. Now, some people might think, what is that? I have found that the life long-term care hybrid products is the best twofer conversation we can ever have. Again, this is about eliminating risk when I'm having a financial planning conversation with a client. If we get to the bottom line and we say, guess what, you've got enough money to live. And then I throw the whole conversation out there about nursing home or assisted living or home care. And suddenly that risk on the table makes them realize that they could quickly erode their retirement assets if they don't have long-term care covered. I think traditional long-term care has been a difficult conversation for a long time, because if you don't use it, you lose it. The twofer, the life long-term care hybrid, just eliminates that off the table. That objection is gone, because you either get it when you die or you get it if you need it for care. And everyone really resonates with that, because then they're putting their money towards something that will benefit their family if they die too soon, but it will also benefit their family and their spouse and won't erode their retirement assets if they live too long and need care down the road. So that twofer conversation is really, really important. The next one I have on the slide is tax favored strategy. I mean, you can't find a better product to give your clients some incredible amount of wealth that's tax favored. You know, we can't use the tax-free conversation as a financial planner, but I can definitely say tax favored. That bucket of money that drops into their bank account if a loved one passes away is definitely something that is tax favored. And I believe taxes are going to become a bigger part of our conversation in the future. Estate taxes will likely be back on the table. So we need as many tax favored options as we can find. Roth IRA is a great example of that. I was on a call with several MDRT members, actually top of the table members, a couple weeks ago, and one of them shared an idea, and I thought, wow, that is brilliant. One of the ways they use the tax favored life insurance proceeds is on the first death of the first spouse. The death benefit comes in. They use that death benefit to convert all or a good portion of the IRA assets, thereby making them Roth. And obviously a big tax hit that first year, but that has just eliminated the potential of increasing tax brackets for that spouse for the rest of their life, and potentially eliminated the need for required minimum distributions. And at the very least, it's also eliminated the need to pass large amounts of qualified assets onto the children, who are sometimes in a much higher bracket than the parents are. So definitely a tax favored piece that you want to get to take a look at. If a client can afford to fund some life insurance that will drop that into the spouse's hands at the time of the first death, they can make that decision of whether or not to convert all or a good portion of those IRA assets to Roth. A great strategy. The next bullet is the creating an estate or equalizing the estate. You know, I think we've all seen family businesses that are left to, say, one or two of the children, and there are some children who are not involved. Life insurance is the perfect answer to try to equalize that estate for those that aren't involved. It's also the perfect answer really to create an estate. You know, I often have people say to me, well, I want to spend every dollar I have saved for retirement. When I write my last check on my deathbed, I want it to be bouncing. And I think that's a funny way to put it, but you know, most of my clients also want to leave some kind of legacy. They want to create an estate for their family if they can. And again, if we have the ability to take, say, required minimum distributions and help it fund life insurance policies for the future use of our children and our grandchildren. That is such an incredible way to create an estate. And then lastly is to leave that legacy. You know, I'm having more and more conversations with clients about charitable giving and really finding ways to contribute good amounts of money toward charities that are really meaningful to them. You know, some have a health situation where they faced and they want to make sure they give back to research or to individuals that cared for them that are part of nonprofit organizations. Others have alma maters, others have religious affiliations, whatever it is. We're seeing more and more people want to be charitable with their funds. And again, if someone has saved well, and a lot of the boomers that I'm seeing have saved well, we want to give them the opportunity to gift away maybe some of their retirement assets and replace it in the estate with a charitable a policy that will replace the charitable gift that they're giving. So there are absolutely a ton of ways you can get super creative when it comes to life insurance. And I want to give another plug. I know I've given this plug already during this presentation, but E4 has some great ideas. They've got some great people that can really help you brainstorm if you've got a case. I have said from the very beginning when I started working with Brendan DeRoyne way back in the day, you can be my product expert. I'm going to be the client expert. And you know what? I prefer it that way. I come to him with, you know, the idea, the client information, all the conversations that we've had about their pain points and what's keeping them awake at night. And then he helps me figure out the right product to sort of fill the holes that that client has. And so it has been an incredible partnership, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm going to leave it at that. I know you've got so many more speakers coming to talk to you on the BREW regarding Life Insurance Awareness Month. I will just wish you great success. And I just want to make sure that you lead with life insurance. It has to be part of your conversation. So Abby, I'm going to turn it back to you. I don't know if we've got any questions. Otherwise, we will call it good for today.
Thanks, Julie. Always inspirational, always fantastic. I've opened up the line for questions or comments if you'd like to share. Otherwise, the chat box is still live. And we've reached the point of the call where we get to do a drawing, Julie.
Woohoo! Draw away.
I'm going to have you reach into your virtual top hat and give me a number between 1 and 24.
I'm going to say 17.
Good one, good one. Who's the winner? Who's the winner? Tom Walsh, congrats, sir. Be on the lookout for an email coming your way with a complimentary coffee card and some continuing education. Thanks for joining from all of us here at E4. And be sure to tune in next week. We'll have E4's very own Doug Twitty giving us a peek at some proprietary software that we have, as well as speaking about term laddering. Thanks for tuning in, friends, and make it a great day. Happy Liam.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, Julie. Rock.
Thank you.